It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Folks, they've been helping families and kids for 13 years. They're making a lot of kids smile on Christmas Day, and they've been around for 13 years helping a lot of kids. Today, we're going to talk to people from Silent Santa who've been doing this. The founder and the CEO and president of Silent Santa tell you what we need, tell you where you can drop these things off. Folks, you've been doing it for 13 years. And yes, Virginia, their letter says, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. And Silent Santa has been helping him for over 13 years to fill requests from so many good little boys and girls who are hoping to find gifts under the tree. Sadly, many of these children, while they still hope and dream, are suffering. They are all in need financially. Far too many also suffer physically and emotionally. The families may be facing homelessness, loss of employment, or a medical crisis. And these are the people that they help every year, folks. And to learn a little bit more about Silent Santa, just to refresh your memories and to focus into it, particularly now that Black Friday's coming in and you're going to be going out buying a lot of things, hopefully the Silent Santa will be on your list. Anyway, we have Marilyn Katansky, who is the president and CEO of Silent Santa, and we have the founder here, Marshall Kraniak, who is also the PR person. Nice to have the both of you here.
Nice to be here.
And once again, I want to applaud the both of you and your organization for what you've been doing for many, many children. And there have been years where people questioned, what you were doing, Michelle, way back. And every year, you just did what you had to do. You took care of all the hundreds of kids who were helpful, and you did it the right way, and you're doing it the right way, and that's why you're on this show, and we hope we're going to be able to help, okay? Just for a review, Marilyn, a lot of people now throughout the holiday season, everybody's trying to do what they can, and we're hoping that everyone gives a little bit to everybody, okay? I never thought that you guys wanted it all, but, we have Operation Care and Share, we have Salvation Armies ringing the bells, we have a lot of people, and just a little bit could go a long way for those of us who are blessed. Talk about Silent Santa. What is it?
Well, basically, we started out looking at those kids that fall between the cracks. Sometimes maybe because they don't have a home address, they don't qualify for a certain agency. They might be over at county lines. They might not qualify for another. Different ones that fall through the cracks or that are just leftovers that other agencies, after being so generous to help so many, can't necessarily take on anymore. We just happen to have the gift of gab. We can help a couple hundred more, and that's that many less that have to go without.
And so how does this all work? Okay, so I'm watching it. So how does this work?
Well, basically, a lot of it's through word of mouth or in the newspaper on your station. They'll see our number. They'll give us a call. They'll explain to us their circumstances. The one requirement that we do stick by totally is you cannot be on another agency's list unless it's for food, because we don't do the food. We do cross-check the lists, because if you're already getting from another agency and you come to us, then you're taking from another child who could be getting and might lose out then.
So therefore, if I'm watching and I would like to get some help, okay, and I tell people don't ever be embarrassed, because they're here to help. 636-1221 is her number. 636-1221, very easy number to remember. So I would call you and say, how do I get on the list, okay? So
right.
When I call you, you tell me,
I will tell you what type of information I would need from your personal information and also the information regarding the child. You can either give it to me then, you can get back in touch with me once you have it all together. Once I have all the information and everything that I need for the application, I'll go either get the child out on an angel tree, sponsored out by a personal benefactor who would like to just, some of them actually have a ball, including your staff, going out and shopping for these children, because some of them don't have children to shop for anymore, and they miss doing it. And it is fun. That's my secret.
Yeah.
That's why I keep going.
Well, you have, Black Friday coming up,
Right.
okay? And everyone's going out early in the morning, buying their gifts, and just add another gift for the Silent Santa. Okay, so now you already have, do you have names already of people who are, what people need, some of the kids?
Yes, we have several hundred children already on our list. We are taking waiting list names now because we've hit so high of a number. I don't want to promise and then turn around and say to somebody, I can't do it. I'd rather say maybe I can help you later and see what I can do then. I hate to say no if I can't.
Yeah. So, but they should call anyway and put them on the list, okay?
Right.
And you go by matter of need, correct?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Need and who called first. We prioritize if there's, depending on your situation.
Believe me, it's a difficult task. I mean, you have to decide. I mean, I'm sure you're breaking out. But let's look at, okay, some of the most, you have a list here. Folks, this is the most requested items that they have, okay? And so, Marilyn, why don't you read some of the most requested items so maybe you could help in these areas, and they are. Go ahead.
Well, number one that we get every year would be bikes for girls, boys, and that would be great because not only are you giving the child a gift, you're also looking at the fitness aspect of it too.
Now, let me ask you this. There are many people that have, their kids have bikes and they outgrow their bikes, okay? Now, are you looking for brand new bikes, or let's assume my child no longer needs the small bike, I have to buy them a new bike. Will you take the bike that the child...
For Christmas time, we are looking for new.
Okay.
I will during the year take other stuff because sometimes these children get nothing new all year or nothing at all.
And I understand that.
Christmas is their time to dream.
Okay.
Something new, something that somebody else hasn't had, something they've never had.
Okay.
But during the year, I do take them in case we have, and we do.
How many requests have you had for bikes?
I've probably a good 30 out of a couple hundred.
Oh, my goodness.
At least, yes.
And what's the average cost of a bike?
You can get them between $30 and $60, depending upon the size, the age.
All right, okay.
So it's not too bad. And then, of course, number two would be video games for all systems.
Okay, I want to clarify something when you just said something, and I think this is important for folks. It's not that they do not appreciate the gifts. I think what they're saying is this. You know what it is when a kid gets a new...
Think back to your child
Yeah,
years.
a new gift other than a used one. And throughout the year, you can help with used, but Christmas time, they see something new, and it's meaningful to them. So it's not that you do not appreciate...
Oh, no, not at all.
I understand. I just want to clear that up, saying, well, look...
Excuse me, the outfits that we give them also. Some of the applications, the parents just tell me clothing and shoes. And I have to tell them we will work on that, but that's not Christmas for the kids. We also want to know what they want in toys. But in that case, as like Marilyn said, with the outfits, I don't want to give used clothing to a child at Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll give it to them later. We'll store it.
That's good. And I fully understand that, okay. So so when you're talking video games, all systems, okay?
Right.
And then you have what else?
Well, some of our top ones this year would be things like Moxie Girls and Monster High dolls. With Toy Story 2 coming out, he's popular again. SpongeBob gift certificates would be great because a lot of the teenagers, they're not into the toys and things now. So we're looking at gift cards, jewelry, makeup, hair supplies, things that the older kids could use. That's always a problem for us.
I'm going to take a break right now, but folks, there's a very good suggestion. She's mentioned about clothes. Get a gift card. Then therefore you could go out and buy a new clothes for the kids. I'm talking to Marilyn Katansky, who is the president and CEO of Silent Santa, and we'll be talking to Marcella Kraniak. She was the founder. 13 years ago, she saw a need for the helping the kids out. We come back, we have a lot more to talk about, and folks, we're going to tell you what we need and where the drop-offs are, okay? Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us, folks. I'm Sam Lesante, and remember 247ssptv.com. You can watch any of our shows, our news archive, plus all the shows I've done throughout the years. Over 1 million since we started, hits on ssptv.com. We want to thank you. Now, the official water of SSP TV and Samson Productions is Atomic and Mountain Spring Water. Folks, this is the water that Starbucks uses. If they don't have this water when you're buying water, ask for it. And then you'll know why it's our official water here at SSP TV. And yes, folks, I'm still taking my Mona V. Dan Basala, give him a call. Every day, I take 2 shots of this every day. It's fantastic. Makes you feel great. So don't forget, Mona V, Dan Basala, give him a call. You'll be happy you did. My guest today from Silent Santa, we have Marilyn Katansky, who is the CEO, president, and Marcel Craniac, who is the founder, been doing this for 13 years. Okay, let's get back to the items that you need, okay, for these kids, helping all these kids.
As far as for the kids, our most asked for items, which we tend to run out of quite a bit, besides the bikes and the video games, would be Thomas the Train, Elmo, Transformers, wrestling, Littlest Pet Shop, La La Loopsy, we mentioned the Monster High and Moxie Girls, Power Rangers, SpongeBob, Twilight stuff with the new Twilight movie coming out, any kind of sports stuff, especially different team things. They're looking for all different kinds of teams. Cars the movie stuff, baby supplies we often run out of. And then for the older girls, the jewelry, the makeup, the hair supplies, things like that.
What baby supplies are you looking like?
Anything from diapers to wipes to bottles to bibs to... We do have some clothing right now as far as the babies. It's all the other little stuff that adds up that sometimes they just can't keep going to get. They don't have the money for it.
So if I get a gift card, you know, at any store, you know, then what happens, you go and then fill in the requested needs, okay? Now, if I want to make a donation, all right, so, you know, you could take the money in because, like you said, if you get enough money, Black Friday, you're
out there 4
o'clock in the morning taking all the bargains, okay? They are to write this check out to Silent Santa?
Yes.
Okay, the check's made out to Silent Santa, and her number is 636-1221. Marcel, I know I'm going to get the things that you need in your office, but, you know, how do you feel? This is 13 years you've been doing this, okay? And I remember when you first started, what happened in your life, you know, like people ask Jerry Lewis, why did he start the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon? He hasn't told that story yet, but why did you start, Michelle?
I started it because when my children were small, I was in a situation that was very difficult. And because of various medical and psychological problems, my late first husband was not in the picture. We actually were in a situation we had to stay somewhere for 1.5 years, my children and I, until it was safe for us to go to live where I wanted to. It was a very difficult time, and the Christmas gifts were the furthest thing from my being able to take care of. I had to deal with essentials, and I felt heartbroken every Christmas because I couldn't give my children the Christmas I wanted them to have. And that never left me. That feeling never left me. And over the years, I've been involved in the community in other aspects. And I decided after I went back to school for my degree that I looked at some of the children in the neighborhood, and I thought, there are so many children out there that are in the same position that my children were in. They're hoping, they still have hope. Their situation may be terrible or heart-wrenching, but they still believe, they still have hope. The younger ones still think Santa will find them no matter where they are, even if they're sleeping on somebody's couch. And I thought, I can't do anything big with health needs or disease or anything, you know, the big major things I can't do. But I'm going to make sure that some children have Christmas. So I started it in my apartment over in the high-rise. My family all helped, and we had Danny DeMelfi and his students were the first ones, and Dr. Degenhardt. Between them and the Y, let me put a box over there. I was working with the Y at that time. And we packed it up and we delivered it to quite a few children, but when we reached 100 children, I said, I can't do this anymore. I don't drive. My health was going a little downhill then, and I said to Marilyn, I don't know if I can keep doing this, but it would break my heart to stop. The need is still there. It's gotten bigger. And I had hit 100 children at that point. And picture a tiny little high-rise, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, and you've got boxes everywhere, and you're trying to do this. And I talked to Marilyn, and I said, I don't want to do this, but I think I'm going to have to stop. But what about these children? And Marilyn begged me not to. She said, I'll do it. She was doing the running around already. She was my person outside the apartment. I was back there with the phone and the packing. And she said, I want to keep it going. Let's not stop. And then we were fortunate we were donated the office space and warehouse space up at Valmont. Without that, I don't think we could have as much as she wanted to, and as determined and hardworking as she is. Without that, we couldn't have kept going. But we did, and it's wonderful. When we can do that, and when the parents hug you and the parents cry, and you think about how that child's going to feel Christmas morning when they look at those gifts under the tree. I mean, we're not giving a ton of things. We're not giving super expensive things, but there's something there from Santa. And the parents are able to wrap the gifts and put it under the tree and at least feel connected to it. That's why we don't hand the gifts to the child. That's why we don't take them wrapped and put them in there. We're trying to draw the parent into it, to include them. And I mean, they've done the hard thing. They have put their pride aside and called us. And they've asked for help because they are concerned. Those are concerned parents who want to give their child a wonderful Christmas. And I mean, we're not rich or anything, but we feel that we're doing something. We're doing our part, hopefully, to bring some smiles to these children's faces. And we often hear from the parents later, so we kind of follow some of the children. And if there's a need later in the year, we mentioned the clothing and the used bikes, then we deal with the families later on. They'll call us if they're in crisis, and if we can't help, we refer them. We always maintain a good rapport with the other agencies. We go back and forth and network with them.
Well, Marcel, I could just say this. I know throughout the years, anytime a person, an organization tries to do some things, a majority of people understand and appreciate that. But you have a few people that are always negative and they accuse, people of doing things that are not right. And you were always so professional about that. Even when people criticized, just a few. It's to see all the good that you do, and then someone says, well, they're doing this and they're only giving it to their families and that stuff, which was not true at all. If anything, you said the story about caring for people. And that's why we here at Channel 13 and SSP-TV and the Lesante family and our staff support you 100%, because we know the both of you and the families you come from, and the fact that you're doing something that are really trying to help kids. It's unfortunate we can't help everyone that's on your list, but the mere fact that you have done what you've done, certainly we know it's legitimate and it's honest, and I applaud the both of you for doing that. Anybody who's helping kids out, because as you said here in the letter here, you're helping Santa Claus as the Silent Santa. Folks, I'm talking to Marilyn Katansky, who is President and CEO of Silent Santa, and Marcel Kraniak, who's the founder. Now, here's what we need you to do, okay? You heard a list of what people what they want. You're going to be going out shopping and buying some gifts. If you could buy one of these and drop off, we're going to tell you where all the drop-offs are, okay? But most importantly, if you'd like to make a checkout for $15, $10, $25, or whatever, make it out to Silent Santa and give it to 636-1221. We come back, where the drop-offs off, and a little surprise I have for them. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show for Silent Santa. We need your help, folks. We need you, please, to drop off a toy or give a donation to Silent Santa. Where are the drop-offs so people could drop off these toys, etc.?
Well, of course, SSP-TV is one of our main one every year. Joyce and Bill's Bar and Grill, Fairway Chevrolet, Burgers Car Dealership, the YMCA, Lazy Dog Salon, NLM Laboratories, Hazleton General, the ICU Department, Jackie's Restaurant, DeMelfi School of Music, Hazleton Elementary Middle School, Elite Dance Studio, Fabergé Dance Studio, Bonanza Restaurant, Country Charm Daycare, Maleth Valley Medical, Lackawanna College, Boyers, IGA, and McAdoo. And we're always willing to accept more.
What is Angel Sites?
Well, these are the ones that the public can access. We have some angels in factories where people will take the angels, but these are out in the public where if you want to go and shop for a particular child, you can go to Dragonfly Cafe, the Hazleton High School, Boyers and McAdoo, Bonanza Restaurant, MMI, and Country Charm Daycare. Pick an angel from the tree. You can shop for that child. You can get one item or everything on the angel, depending upon your budget, and just return it to where you got the angel from.
That's fantastic. So these are the places that you're going to pick off. Okay.
Could I
Yes.
interject for just 1 second? I'll make it real quick. Marilyn mentioned on the drop-off points Berger's Family Dealership. I would be lax if I didn't say this could not happen without Family Dealership, because for a couple of years now, they have been letting Marilyn use a vehicle about 3 days a week because without a vehicle, she can't do this. And now it's become more urgent than ever because her vehicle just plain died. It's not going to be revived.
I am not surprised at all with Earl and Berger and Jeff Berger, and of course with Fairway. When it comes to doing things for community, Berger Family Dealerships has always been there. Okay, Earl and Jeff and the entire staff have been fabulous.
And Fairway has been good with us too.
Yes, Fairway. It's great when people work together, and that's great. I'm very happy to hear that. But
so without their help with the car, with
especially,
her car
yeah.
being dead,
So-
we couldn't do it.
So what we need, folks, we need we need toys. Okay, she gave you a list. You can watch this show anytime, as you know. What they need here. You got the drop-offs, bikes, video games, Thomas the Train, Elmo, Transformers, Lala Loopsy, Pops, Mopsy Girls, Monster High. I notice I'm familiar with all these. SpongeBob, gift cards, etc., etc. Now, I have 3 grandchildren. Okay, Alyssa, I have Isabella, and I have Mason. Okay, the 3 of them, they enjoy Christmas. They know the value of Christmas, that it is the birth of Jesus. They know that it's a religious holiday. However, then Santa Claus comes. Okay, now let me ask you this: the 3 of them, I know, would say, "Pop up, we want you to help those kids." So my wife and I and Alyssa, Isabella, and Mason want to give you a check for $100. Okay,
Oh, that's wonderful.
and we're going to give you a
wonderful.
$100 check, and I'm hoping that $100 will be able to buy some great toys for the kids, and I'm hoping that everybody else would contribute 25, 10, 50. That help. Black Friday's coming up, folks. We need your help. All right, the number is 636. Very easy, 1221. Give her a call, or for that matter, just call the station here. We'll give you their number. All right. We would like to see as many kids smiling on Christmas Day. But remember the true meaning of Christmas, folks. The true meaning of Christmas. Sometimes we lose that. It's not all about gifts, but it's also about sharing with your family and praying and thanking God what you got, okay? Very important, folks. Let's get the secularism to a degree. Not that I'm becoming holier and holy here, but the point is we do want to keep the value of Christmas where it is, and then enjoy the family and hopefully make a lot of kids smile this Christmas. We'll see you next time.